Nimot, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Just speak to the microphone. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What can you tell us about the education in Africa generally?
Hmm. Generally in Africa, their mentality is that we should all go to school, we should go and learn in school. Like, the only place we can get education from is in school. But that's not true. It's not a must for us to go to school before we can be educated. Like outside like in the European countries, most of them, not all of them attend school before they can become successful. A lot of professional, entrepreneurial, and innovators, not all of them went to school before they become successful. Just skills and talent, that's all they need before you can become successful. It's not a must for you to engage in yourself in school. Just be determined and know what you are good at, then you can do anything. It's like in okay, our parents, all they want is that my child should go to school, she should go and learn, she should do this, she should do that. But what if the child doesn't have the ability to learn what they are teaching in school? And besides, 100%, let me just say, in 100% of what they are teaching us in school, let me just say 90% of it, they are not useful for us.
Well, after when you left school,
When I left school, let me just say that 90% of it, I don't really need it. Like 10% of it are just the little things, they're just advising us. But going to school is not actually the main reason people are going to be successful or something. Just focus on talent. And like, okay, let me use Yemi Yawal Yami Lawal as an example. He is actually a footballer. He knows what he's good at. He knows he's good at football, and his parents are encouraging him by putting him into football academy. Like, it's not, they didn't force him to go to school to go and learn, because they know what their son is good at. So they enrolled him into a football academy, and he's playing football, and at the same time he's going to school. So that is good. They should, if that can happen in Africa, we'll be moving forward. That is the reason why here in Africa we are not moving forward. All of us are just we are stuck in a place, like we're just stagnant. If that can happen in Africa, it's really help all of us a lot. Like, even here, okay, a child now, maybe the child know how to draw very well, like design things and stuff like that. The parents will be abusing the child. The only thing you know is that you should drawing and designing books, spoiling your things, or they spoiling books. But there in European countries, if there's that, my child is actually good at drawing, this is great. They enroll him into a arting school, like artist, that where he can learn more
about the drawing.
About the drawing, to design more, to even become better than he is. But here in Africa, it's not like that, and it is not done. We should just, if we know that our child is good at something, we should try help them to become better in it, not forcing them into going to school. School is not the whole education we can get.
Okay, Nimot said school is not the only education we can get. Hello, what can you say about the education? Are you going to support Nimot, or do you have any idea? Because in Africa today, we don't know if education is helping us to move forward, or we are moving backward. What can you tell us about education?
We don't agree with her 100%. Yeah, she said it right. Education, school is not. We can only get education in school. It is not only the school education that is important. That is true, because there are some people that have their degrees, they have their master, their certificate, but
they don't make use of it.
They lack this home education, how to behave in a society and all those things. Yeah, they can do things right, but in their speech and all that we do, they are right, but they only know how to, to read, how to work on papers and all those things. They lack this home training. So home education also is important. And the second thing is that it's true, yeah, that today many persons have their certificates, but they are not working with them.
They are becoming semi-jobs, taxi drivers,
taxi driver all over the place. But it is not because of that we say that education is not important. We are in this situation because of the country in which we are, because we are in Africa. She says something that is very interesting. The thing is that we used to keep the talent of our child.
Yeah.
My senior brother, when we were talking of engineering, all those things, I remember when we were small, he would take a radio, he will scatter here and he will make
Bring it back
that
together.
Yeah.
but instead of them to encourage him in that domain, they will beat him, say that go and learn your lesson, because we are ignorant of the reality. But
exactly.
if you know that your son is doing those engineering thing, send him to that school.
That's what I'm
Don't
trying to
send
say.
him to English class or sociology to go and do what in sociology, because the problem is our parents want
What
us
they
to do what they like, not what
Yes.
we have
like
the ability
to do, yes.
what is our passion. They don't see that. They will just want you to do what they want you to do. You are good in maybe in language, they want you to do mathematics. You are good in mathematics because your father saw somebody speaking Deutsch very fluently. That is German. He want you also to go and do that, but you don't have that ability to do that. And so we kill the talent or the skills or
They
the
have.
ability that our children have, our brothers have, and we force them to do it. That is why the whole thing, that is why I can agree with her that education is good, but let us direct ourselves in the right path.
Okay, Nimot, you have been telling us about the Western the education that are been given to their children over there. Can you tell us what is an advantage for the Europeans, the Westerners, the way they taught their children in school? I heard in some European country they don't even feel the children anymore.
In Finland,
In Finland,
yes. In that country, their children start going to school from 6 years old. No,
6 years old.
yes, but
Not
here in
like us, you start
Africa,
from 2
or
years.
3 years old, they will take them to school.
You just want to free yourself
Yeah,
to send the child
yeah,
to
come and go to
free
school.
And
at
it's
home.
not good.
It's not good. In Finland, they start school at the age of 6.
6.
And that from that age of 6, they are not going to do exam, no test, no assignments, because they want to know what the children are capable of, what they can do. Because if you are giving them assignments, do homework, do this one, they are not free to do. They won't be able to do what they can do, what they feel, what they are skilled to do. Okay, by the age of from that age of 6 to the age of 16, they're not going to engage themselves in any exam or test.
Oh.
And at the age of that 16, that is when they can suggest an exam for them, and that exam is not actually compulsory. If you are interested in doing the exam, you will engage yourself in that. You will say, okay, I'm interested in the exam, I want to take part in the exam. But if you are not interested, that's it. No one is going to force you, because if education is not your thing, no, we are not supposed to force anyone to do to go to school, to learn this, to do that. So it's not by force. They won't force them to do it till they finish and they know what exactly they want to do.
Wow.
The important thing is know how to speak and know how to read.
Exactly.
What you just said now
That is,
about they know how to speak.
Yeah.
In Africa here, our language is a local language.
Yeah.
And they brought out French and English. They force it on our child. Now, a 6-year-old child that have not hear English or French before, started school,
Yeah.
started telling him, okay, just do this, and speaking French or English to that person. You see, sometimes it is very hard for them to understand what the child says. Even a student of 12 years cannot even speak French or English fluently.
Yeah.
So, if we change that to our local language to teach our children, do you think it will be better?
Yeah, but unfortunately we cannot, because our heads are not ready to do that. They will know. I don't think, for instance, in Togo they will refuse to make Ewe or Mina the local the first.
But that is the only way the
French.
children can understand.
Yeah, that is the only way. But unfortunately, that is what I say. Unfortunately, our heads, our government, our authorities will not. In Rwanda, I don't know. They've done that.
No, in Rwanda,
Yeah, in
Rwanda, Tanzania.
Tanzania, they are speaking. They are no more speaking those strange language, and that's it. That for even in that direction, that is why many of us today we are losing our identity, our cultural identity, because you see people that give birth to their child today, because they know that if the child grow, he will go to school. If he went to school, his friend will be speaking. You will see them, a baby, you will not be speaking his mother language to him. You will be saying, bonjour, comment, for a baby, because you want to grow with that idea of speaking French, so that he will not have difficulty. And you will see many of the child today, many of us today, we have difficulties in speaking our cultural language, our native language,
yeah.
because it's French, in English, and all those things. Unfortunately, we are in a country, if you don't know English, you cannot do anything. Adebayo say he did not want to school. But after he
And
succeeded,
today he's the one control those who are going to school.
yeah, because after he hired teachers that must teach him at home. Because after all, yeah, your career of footballer will stop one day, maybe maximum 40 years.
40 years.
And after you have a new life to live. So if you don't know how to speak French, for instance, how will you do it? You see
And you
him
need to explain yourself.
you need to express yourself. We have seen him so many new world TV in the AFCON time. He was consulting and all those things. So supposing he did not know French. So it's compulsory. It's compulsory for us today to go to school and know how to
but
speak.
Just know how
but
to
to go to
speak.
school,
No.
go to school is not learning language is not part of going to school.
That's it.
There are some people who are going to
Yeah.
France, and when they come back, they don't go to school there. Maybe
Yeah,
they
they
just
don't
go there and doing some roadside work there. But when they
And they
come
will
back,
get money.
when they start speaking French, their French is more even better than those who are going to school here.
The thing is that the advantage also of the Europeans, as we asked before, is that they used to specialize themselves in one thing. Yeah, the person can be doing some other course in the school, but he have his specialty that he will be doing.
Yes.
But here, even if you say
Generally.
English department, for instance, they will still bring you history, but in English. They will bring you poems and all those things. But those things, it is French people that maybe those that want to become poets, poem writer and all those things. Maybe it's for, but you just came, maybe you want to become a translator. But they are asking you to learn poem, to learn Africa.
The history and all.
How will you do with that?
Okay, Nimot, before we go, I just want to ask this question. To me, it's like our forefather. They are strong and they were hardworking. They are not going to school much, but they are the one that put us in school and do a lot of things.
They don't forcing us to go to school, but they didn't go to
They
school.
don't go to school, but
They are wiser and intelligent.
they are wiser and
intelligent.
and they are doing good. Even let us look at it today. We that you are going to school today, we are lazy because we don't want to do a farming. We don't want to go to the field and start planting. But they are doing all those things. But today, Africa that has been
exporting food
outside,
now importing food.
To me, it's like education is killing our generation of today.
Yes, it's actually killing us.
Yeah, what you said is right. We just take an example. You have buy goods, for instance, you are selling, you are doing trading and all those things. We see that.
And don't mama at Asigame. They
didn't go to school.
Some me plus they know
In their head,
they
they
can calculation.
those
People that went to school,
yeah.
they can't actually do it in a minute.
No, those nana bands that they used to call, they did not go to school, but they are the one that if you have a Sigame today, say rappers and all those things, it's because of the nana bands, but they did not go to school. You will see a trade or goods now, a woman or our mother, our grandmothers will be handling that. Your grandmother that did not go to school, she will be handling that very much. But maybe your cousin that have a masters in trading, or I don't know, they will bring her to come and handle that same thing. You will see that maybe after 1 year, the goods will start finish. You will not get anything because she could not, even though she went to school, she could not be able. So this school thing, it's just compulsory. The world of today is compulsory.
And it's not supposed to be compulsory.
Normally.
The masters, okay, let me say the cousin you are talking about, like she went to get her masters. What she was taught in school is not about what she really wants to.
She really wants to do. Maybe see for today, China, they've developed their country, their own language. They don't speak any foreign language. They all speak their own language. They have their own money and all those things. But if you are talking, many of the things we used to use today.
China.
It reached a time China and Togo were at the same stage when they are talking of poverty and all those
in
things.
1917.
Yeah, you only see America in the before the rest of those China.
China surpassed America now, and that's what cause fighting around the world now.
Yeah, they are surpassed America now, but in some years back we were at the same stage. But so what's happened? Because the authorities agree, to develop their things with their own things, their own language, not to adopt any foreign thing. But we here is like we are under anything that we do is like the French people that will dictate it to us. So that is unfortunately.
It's unfortunately for us in Africa. This is a very big topic
Yeah.
that we can use 1 hour to talk about, but we have another thing to do. In a short minute, we are coming back.